Tonight at the cage match, Heather and Miles return to take on Calvin. Are you ready?
I'm ready!
Super ready! I'm ready!
Yeah! I'm ready!
Tonight, your champions, Heather and Miles, go for their 25th win in a row. Will they do it? Will they go for their quarter-century win tonight? I don't know, because they have to face a very tough challenger, Calvin, and they are here to fight. Now, let's check with the audience to see who their favorite is tonight.
And it's gonna be a tough one.
I'm rooting for Heather and Miles.
Heather Miles.
Calvin.
Heather Miles.
Heather and Miles. I'd say probably the best, like Tupac and Biggie of improv.
They know how to improvise like pros.
Calvin, of course. Heather and Miles.
And I want to be Heather when I grow up. Yeah, I'm just here for some good improv.
In tonight's cage match, your challenger is Calvin. Choosing to go first will be going first, followed by the champions Heather and Miles. Now, let's see some show highlights and see who won the show tonight.
It's a great big fucking flat screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead.
The last three have been, okay? You saved that woman last week. She wasn't gonna die.
I'm cyborg.
Please take a seat, Mr. Markowitz. Take a seat.
I'll sit. I don't need to stand forever. It's funny sitting down and got part of the sheet.
And you know what's gonna put us over the top? Put us over the top, buddy. My good friend Jim Beam. Boom! I'll cheers to that. Oh yeah!
Do you want some fucking whiskey, man? Dude, fucking talk to me, okay, man? Do you want some fucking whiskey or not? We're gonna die tomorrow, man! Do you want some fucking whiskey? Why are you gonna stand there so fucking quiet all the time? This gun was right here, man! And this head exploded all over me! You want some fucking whiskey?
Hey, dudes! I painted the spaceship like a wiener. Hope you don't mind. That's not up to NASA code, astronaut. It's up to my dick code.
Guy right here over at Sunny Sign.
You want a fucking donut?
Really? You're like a cartoon of a cop.
Returning next week will be, for their quarter-century, Heather and Miles! Heather and Miles for another win against Calvin. How did they do it tonight? Let's get some improv analysis from the Tim Russert of Improv, Jonny in the Improv locker room.
Thanks, Harrison. What we ended with a classic 2-on-3 cage match throwdown. We had our challengers Calvin going in first, and they got the suggestion of breakfast, which they used in a company with a balanced budget that was going under. Then we saw a NASA mission crew drinking on the job and wanting an astronaut to fuck an alien. We saw Jed's amusement park scene. We saw a heroine nicknamed Stand Up, and then they did a bizarro timeout where they called timeout, and then they started over and did all the scenes they previously did, but all the scene specifics and the character viewpoints were opposite. So then we saw all those scenes in opposite, but we also saw Christopher Walken accent, we saw an unbalanced budget, and then we saw Gary and Diane having anal on the screen machine in Knott's Berry Farm. It was a great step on challengers. Then we had our champions Heather and Miles going up second, and they got the suggestion of plasma, which they used in the first scene, which was a doctor who hates watching his patients and a girl whose blood didn't work. Then we saw a guy who claimed he was a cyborg because he wears clothes and he wanted to be a bagger at a grocery store. We saw a soldier yelling about whiskey and death to his stone-faced friend. We saw a 70-inch TV that gives people boners and then takes those boners away. We saw two Charlies that work at the same Best Buy. We saw a cartoon cop, and they ended it all with an awful doctor, dying girl callback. What happened in the end? Our champions remain your champions. You'll see them next week at the UCB Cage Match. For UCB Cage Match, I'm Jonny Svarzbein, reminding you that anything can happen in a cage match.
Thanks, Jonny. Heather and Miles now have 25 wins, but next week they go for their 26th win against a brand new challenger, Wave Rhythms. And Wave Rhythms is here to bring the waves to the stage. That's going to be a hot match. You're going to want to make reservations or get on the wait list. Just get that theater and see that show. It's going to be amazing. Go to the theater's website and make a reservation. Now, if you want to see more show highlights from Heather Miles or Calvin, click on the links below and you'll be able to see more show highlights from their shows. But until next week, keep on rocking. Do 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 do.